Hey, how's it going everyone? It's James Amera here at SwitchWatch. For those of you who know me, you know I love a bargain. So when Qubic Games asked if we were interested in their 17 years of making games celebration sale, we were all in. So congratulations to the folks over there for this massive milestone. So what's the juicy bargain all about? Well, up until the 17th of March, there are 17 games at the ridiculous price of 17 cents in the US and EU and 15p in the UK. As if that wasn't enough, there are another 17 games for $1.70 in the US and EU and £1.50 in the UK. In keeping with the theme, I've picked 17 of these utter bargains, so grab a cup of tea and let's jump in. Plus, at the end of this video, we have some game codes to give away courtesy of Qubic Games, so stick around. First things first, how do you tap into these deals? Well, the discounts are automatically applied in the eShop for owners of one of these four games: Robonauts, Pocket Mini Golf, or Puzzle Book. Now, these three games are all on sale at 17 cents themselves, but if none of them take your fancy, you can download Colouring Book, which is free in order to unlock the discounts. Genius. You can find the full list over at Qubic Games website, and there's a link in the description to take you there. First up in the games for 17 cents or 15p is Mana Spark. This is a challenging action RPG with skill-based, tough combat and roguelike elements where you explore a dreadful dungeon and fight smart enemies that will plan and collaborate between themselves to defeat you. What's nice is that each room is handcrafted, striking a balance between randomness and strong design. The combat is skill-based and you will need to learn enemy patterns in order to succeed. There is a good combination of permanent and in-run upgrades. Altogether, this is a really fun dungeon runner at a ridiculous price point on this sale. Up next, it's Pocket Mini Golf. Now, when it comes to golf games, there are lots of different types. There are those that are hyper-realistic, those that are just super challenging and frustrating. But this is the kind of game that is there to be enjoyed whilst you relax. You're sitting back, you're chilling out with some nice little graphics. There's addictive gameplay with over 50 creative levels with good obstacles, and you could play it with up to 4 people on one console. There's lots to be done here, and I do like that there's diamonds along the way to give you that extra bonus and give you that sense of accomplishment. If you've ever wanted to kickflip a car, then get behind the wheel in this high-octane stunt driving game. Yes, it's Rekt. Doing tricks is incredibly smooth. This one runs at 60 frames per second, and it's easy to learn and pick up, but hard to master. You've got to get your landing right and power slide into the next trick for those combos. It's a great game to play with your mates in local co-op, but there's quite a lot to engage you in single player as well. There are a bunch of different cars to get, and I really like the polygon style graphics. There's also a bunch of different modes, including Baja, Virus, and so you're not going to run out of things to do when your mates do come over. Not a Brainbuster is a game that taps into our brain's wiring in a simple way. Standing on a cube, you are given instructions: go left, right, up, down, or stay put. The challenge comes from having to do it quickly and then the game throwing curveballs at you in the form of not statements and swapping text for colours. It's super simple, pleasing, and frustrating in equal measure. When you play against a friend, the tension gets that little bit higher as competition kicks in. It's also playable on the move with touchscreen controls. A good little brain teaser, this one. One Strike is the simplest game that you will ever play. One strike leads to success or failure. It's addictive and simple with just 2 buttons: attack or defend. It is the essence of fighting distilled into its purest form. We really enjoyed this one. Its simplicity, its style, everything about this one is just pick up and play. Space Pioneer is a twin-stick shooter set across a number of worlds. You get to visit different planets for each level and take down a horde of alien enemies while succeeding at objectives from escorting people to taking out alien nests. The mechanics and controls are tight, and you can tackle the game with friends in co-op mode. This is a sci-fi, world-hopping twin-stick shooter with decent controls and a nice colour palette to it as well. Rimelands Hammer of Thor is a turn-based RPG where battles take place on a grid and are heavily dependent on rolling dice. Yes, this is one of those games that is all about RNG. It looks pretty poor, to be honest, and somehow it's much more addictive than you'd give it credit for. All of the core mechanics are here. There's a cheesy story, a leveling system, quests and the like. Along with that randomness, it's going to get you coming back for more. Akane is another little gem that has the simplest gameplay but manages to be highly addictive and really fun to play. You take control of Akane, a badass katana wielding heroine that is making her last stand against the Yakuza in an arena where one hit is death, either for you or your foes. The beauty of the game is the superb controls and the dynamic of sticking and shooting. Combat becomes almost rhythmic as you hack your way through the hordes. There are a few things to unlock and leaderboards to keep you going as well, and I love the cyberpunk style from the neon lights to the enemy designs. This one's very, very cool. Alright, and now we're jumping into the games that are $1.70 in the EU and the US and £1.50 in the UK. I do love me a cyberpunk games, and here is another. Dex is a side-scrolling RPG with bags of character and lots of nice mechanics, from narrative choices that are well voiced to a deep leveling system. What's great is that this is a non-linear game. It's an open world that you can attack in the way that works best for you. And with those different dialogue choices, it's impressive that there's full English voiceover as well. You can tackle this game in the playstyle that suits you, and I just love the style and all the different customizations that you're able to do, including hacking and diving into cyberspace. Blazing Beaks is a great little game to play with friends. The levels are randomly generated and you can play story mode with a friend cooperatively or alone as well. Either way, it's a blast. If you want to compete against your friends, then there is a tournament mode too, to test your skills against each other. For us, we loved how simple it was to pick up and play and get into. Blasting foes is super fun. This one reminds me quite a lot of Enter the Gungeon. It's still got that sort of addictive, cutesy looking style where you blast everyone. Tharsis is a turn-based space survival strategy game where the outcomes and actions are based on dice rolls and difficult moral decisions. This is about space, dice, and cannibalism. There's a mysterious signal coming from the Tharsis region of Mars, which sets your crew of astronauts off on a risky mission. Who sent it and why? Impossible questions, but your fate is sealed on finding out. Now, millions of miles away from home, a micro-meteoroid storm damaged your spaceship and killed 2 vital members of the crew. The mission is no longer just discovery, but to survive the journey with those still left around. Tharsis is built around a unique mix of board game and video game mechanics, and the outcomes of your choices are determined by rolls of the dice, but ultimately it's up to you and your decisions that will affect the mission's success. This is a really cool adventure, and I definitely recommend this one highly. Warlocks 2 is a real step up over the first title and is a welcome addition to the Switch. This one offers amazing value for a quality indie title that combines RPG traits with 2D platforming and brawling fighting. What I love is that each of the classes plays very differently, giving you that replayability. Throw into the mix the ability to play the whole campaign in co-op mode, and the result is an enjoyable game with randomly generated side quests and even some good humour thrown in. Alright, a bit of a cheat here because I'm counting this as one, but it's actually a series of games that revolve around the Blocky Commander video in the first 6 titles from the series. These were originally released on the Wii and are a whole lot of fun. Each of the games is quirky, and the general thread pulling them together is platforming and rhythm-based gameplay. You might recall these 6 games were released together as a complete compilation on the Wii, and instead here we have the choice to pick up which of the titles that you want to. HyperParasite is a cyberpunk roguelite. This twin-stick game offers something really different. An alien parasite has invaded Earth and you play as the parasite against humanity's defences. Whilst in the original parasite form, you are weak and so you need to patiently infect and take over hosts which you can unlock for future runs. It's tough at first until you get strong enough, at which point things become a lot more fun. The graphics and audio are nice, but what's really great is this twist on the genre and the gameplay. Akuto Showdown is an isometric, fast-paced action game where players fight with different weapons in intense battles. The game is set on various stages where you have to not only watch out for your opponents, but also the environment, as this will kill you too. Cars on the streets, trains and gunslingers, all of these things are waiting for your one careless step. The arenas are set in many different themes like Wild West or medieval Japan. There are 10 unlockable melee weapons from standard swords to shovels and legs. The same applies to guns. 15 kinds of firearms are at your disposal, pistol, shotgun, or even a magic wand to make your character unique. You can customize your fighter with one of many funny hats as well. So what are you waiting for? Gather up, draw your sword. Showdown is on. All right, for my final two picks, I've gone with games that are a little bit more expensive because they're newer, but they do still have a sale on, so fear not. These are £4.50 in the UK and $5 or €5 respectively. The first of these is Door Kickers. This is a real-time strategy game that puts you in command of your own SWAT team during tense interventions. You will need to plan your approaches, choose equipment, and coordinate multiple team members as you meticulously blast your way to your objectives. This is a great game, and actually this is one of the games we're giving away. More on that in a second. And last but not least, for those of us who have been with us for a while, you know that I have a soft spot for card games, and Dungeon Top is one of those. This is a fresh roguelike deck building game with tabletop battles thrown into the mix. You get to choose your hero, pick an allegiance, and then dive deep into procedurally generated dungeons as you battle beasts and evolve your deck of cards to survive. This is a great title, and this is the second of the games that we're giving away. So how do you win these games? Well, we've got 3 codes of Door Kickers and 3 codes of Dungeon Top to give away. How do you win one? Well, we're going to have a bit of fun using the theme of 17. With 17 letters exactly, we need to write in the comment section down below a phrase or a strapline that captures the essence of this Qubic Games sale. What we'll do is we'll pick the winners and announce them on our regular bargain series on the 14th of March. Thanks very, very much for stopping by. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and really some great games on sale. Thanks very much to Qubic Games for giving us the codes. And be sure to head to their website. There's a link in the description below where you can see all of the games and take your pick. Until the next one, we'll see you again soon. Take care. Thank you very much.